Cool, we're live. Hello, Internet. Welcome to the second homeschool reading. Homeschool reading features makers, thinkers, and doers who work in a slippage between art and poetry, between visuality and text. And today's lineup features Sarah Gale Armstrong, Jasmine Gibson, Bryn Johnson, and Devin Kenny. Sidonia O'Neill couldn't make it because she's packing and moving away from Portland soon. And so we're going to start with a short video by Sarah Gale, and then she's going to read later. She's going to close this out. And I have to share my screen to do it, so let me do that really quick. Okay.
Hello, and thank you for joining me today. Today's lecture is titled Purely for Communication Among Black People. First and foremost, we are human and should seek to love and respect all people. Second, fuck whiteness. I say that because for me to even begin to evaluate my identity as an African American woman, I must evaluate how whiteness has been portrayed in my likeness. Example, Christianity. I was raised Baptist Christian. Christianity is a made religion white people still black people. Speaking of Christianity, I want to talk about the homosexual agenda or whatever. White people came up with rules for gender and sexuality. So when I see an Instagram post from some black guy showing a photo of a gay black man and blaming it on the white man, I got some saying that they know my brother. Those who are considered gay or transgender are revered in our cultures because white men came around. Third, power is given to whom we choose to talk about and or address. Black people are more likely to make a post about a celebrity than a book they are in. Fourth, the only way we can rise as a people and thrive is if we encourage one another to be their best. This entails forcing ourselves to be the best we can be, while helping each other along the way. None of this can be done unless freedom of expression is supported. Once again, the white man is against freedom of expression because it yields growth and strength within people in our own communities. No slut shaming, no ableism, no ageism, no classism, no sexism, no homophobia, no fatphobia, no transphobia. Thank you, and have a good day.
Devin Kenny. Oh wait, it's playing Devin's video. Awesome. Was the audio good on that? Was it audible? Maybe we'll play it again later. I'll figure out the audio setup. But anyway, so Jasmine Gibson is up. She's a Philly John now living in Brooklyn, and the soon-to-be psychotherapist for all your gooey psychotic episodes that match the bipolar flows of Capital. She spends her time thinking about sexy things like psychosis, desire, and freedom. And I really loved Jasmine's chapbook out of Commune called Mania. It's like the best thing I read in a long time. So I'm really excited to have you read, Jasmine. I want to thank you for allowing us to hear you. Jasmine?
Sorry. Thanks. Thanks, Manuel. That was nice. I guess I'll just start off. This is Heavy Metal, and this was just published in the journal Petra. Can you hear me okay? Okay. Who knew that organs could weigh so much and absorb the city's abuses like Katrina or Flint? Repeated events like this can feel like fate, where the question of, are you sure what you put in your body isn't killing you, or this is a personal issue? But whatever, new heavy metal is in season. Whether it's liquid or alkaline-like, it still kicks onto your liver and lungs like that lover you want back but you remember all the disasters that came along with the relationship. All my goddesses are heavy metal because they were all burnt on hot irons at sea in small villages, backyards, and with burning crosses, and borders so segmented that they split the body in two, but can still live and breathe and take in toxins and heavy metals. And don't that make you feel fucking expansive? Like, my God, your body on mine and how I want you to melt on my tongue kind of heavy metal. This is your welcome party. This is your potluck. It is an orientation that you woke up late for and ran 2 hours late to realize you missed nothing at all. And the body sags at the wasted time of linens on ashen skin that you have to go 3.5 hours to touch, 27 doors and 1,600 flights of stairs to be reunited once again, and it still doesn't feel as good as the lies you told yourself about how good it would feel again. These are calculations for even how you have to strain to shit. Even the little that comes out matters. What about Syrians and pain legitimate? When you realize the government and class collaborators and landowners, heads of breeding, have always had a grip on your uterus. And you can feel it when it lurches, and not when daddy was a metaphor, but an actual apparatus of reproduction of stock. Me and you are the real diamonds people in other generations are forced to die for. Excavation as self-critique, so that you may feel the death of your flesh, and that light wounds can be mortal too. Does your guilt keep others awake, or is it just you? Trusting yourself to be honest with yourself based on the fact that you are not that different from what you are fighting. When war makes a sound like that, how it keeps you up at night, and how theory dies when it leaves your lips. Yes, Sandy, I'm coming to this dizzying days, and how we can't have those nice things because who really needs it, right, baby? All my expansiveness is heavy metal, and it's not my business what you think about me. There can be a conversation in code, but it cannot hide from what is happening, that there is a heavy metal upon the soul we cannot rid of. Am I being detained? And what warrants you here? We only mourn blacks who died for peace treaties and reasons that ultimately don't lead us to liberation. And don't let me tell you about the maroon blood that scares away the Indio skin that so many white lovers have benefited from. Yes, it's true. I can feel it when your fingers are inside me. And right there, yes, there, I'm coming and present. I woke up in the middle of it all. There's a whole history of people lying about where they were born and forgetting where they got married because the seams unraveled too quickly due to the impacts missing in state records, county records, but apparent in body records, reading like, I came upon this shore in heavy metal. This is the second poem I'll read. This doesn't have a title yet. Europe is a lie. In America, at least we're honest about our foulness and empty promises. Our violation is out in the open, festering, and can even fly. It has a metallic smell and taste on the lips, reminding two big graying lungs in a place where you can't ever come. Not unless you invent yourself into history. In Europe, there is no history, just a large mirror asking to be that way, when everyone else in the world never asked to be reflected off of. I've traveled in time, once as an object, bouncing off of others, where only people who could look me in the eye was out of pity, a cruel blunted object messing up their space. They feared that I could speak and understand a language that was bred where the moon hangs out real late. I've traveled in time, once as an alien, people fearing not if I descended in my shiny, silver-piercing hovercraft crafted from eastward Mississippi black technology dripping in swamp water, but instead fearing if I came from the harshness of the dead saltiness of the Baltic Sea and did not die, did not become bloated in the chest and face, so that I could not weigh so heavy on their guilt, knowing that I could be welcomed if this was the case. And I was never built Nor was my central functioning meant to process temporality in a crumbling brick like eroding cities, or spatially processing these very important memories of falling in love and getting nothing in return. This is a central lesson to becoming a sentient being capable of bleeding out joy for others to get drunk on, never getting drunk on myself because that's what responsible sentient beings do. To be obliterated completely by little white pleasures. I once had a friend who went abroad and I was just gyrating wallpaper as walls caressed their cocking balls, saying, "You're the one. Come on, don't you want this or me anymore? Don't you want to join with the class, that ritualized pain? Don't you want to merge, to fuse, a gaping pussy that can never shut? That's what history is. That's what history looks like when you entered it. Read it into whatever context you need to, but it can't be good. Two big gray muscles, two big grain glands. This is how many people die, just dying in their shells. Children get to experience death like this. Cancer makes the fiction and joke so much clearer. It is in the water, or do I have this too? Two big grain glands removed from the chest, making for two big sewn up breast pockets that my 8-year-old eyes can't not see. I cry because I know it's goodbye. Into my craft ship in time, the portrait of my body I go to. And this will be my last one. Also doesn't have a title. Brazil has always been a fiction, a place for escape, but not from property relations, not even from nationalist projects that crack bones wide open and leave mothers to bleed right there in the street. We all know where samba comes from, and it isn't the city. We can all haunt white women until our heart is content, with or without place in their names, because there is no home, and no land, and no shore to beach upon if opportunity can be manifested. We can all be rich and make money, have revenge melt all over our bodies because it feels good and it's immediate. Don't we all want to come through like that? When there isn't anything to risk, white people can speak any language. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jasmine. That was awesome.
Thanks.
My gods are made of rock and steel and like dried eggshell powder. So it's interesting to hear
Yeah. That's
some
sweet.
influences, some differences, you know?
Yeah.
Cool. Rin is up next.
Oh,
Rin
it's
Johnson.
working. It's working.
Yes. How's mic work? We're having issues with that. Anyone watching?
Yeah,
All right.
Jasmine, I heard you like second to last and last poem. I missed the other ones because I couldn't hear anything. But I liked it.
You can blame me for that. It's probably my fault.
No, it's the internet. It's the man. It's the man.
And
For real, though.
just creeping through. Say hi to the NSA.
Yeah.
So, Rin Johnson's up next. Rin is a sculptor and poet. Johnson has shown sculptures in many cities and read in a few too. Johnson is the author of 2 chapbooks, Nobody Sleeps Better Than White People, which I think is either recently released or forthcoming from Inpatient Press, and also the forthcoming Meet in the Corner from Publishing House. And Johnson lives in Brooklyn and has a dog named Mies van der Rohe. Hey Rin, is that Publishing House .me?
Yeah.
Cool, awesome. I'll check it out. I'm excited.
Yeah, should be fun. It's gonna be virtual reality. It'll be like
Yeah.
multiple dimensions.
Wow.
Should be fun.
Like a built environment.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I hope. Oh, we'll see. Yeah. Hey, internet. Hi, friends. I'm gonna read 2 poems. Uh, Mom, look, you know, I don't like it there. I mean, I'm a dog person, but they have all those wild black dogs, and I walk around there, and I can't stop thinking, where's the master? Mom, look, nobody sleeps better than white people. They cuff us to hospital beds and then go home and sleep. Anything can be a hospital bed, Mom. Fuck us, is what they're saying, Mom. I'll cuss if I want to, Mom. It doesn't matter how many women raise their hands at a funeral. The clouds are getting thick here. I'm just a black man, Mom. You used to rub my back so I could go to sleep, but you're too tall for me to rub yours. Remember that story you told me, Mom, after you said all women wear false beards and all penises are actually vaginas and vice versa? The gist of it went, we had our fire, we burned everything. We listened for the ocean, we covered ourselves in sand. We feared the coming tide. We made fire by rubbing two sticks together. We did not have diabetes. We wore our hair natural, and we followed the smell of the flames. One time after you finished the story, you said, see, this is about how abstract art was inevitable. It's always better to see all sides at once. That was one. Sorry, I have really bad allergies, excuse me. Fucking in Venice. I fucked this dancer in Venice, buck naked, on a canal. She said the sex was so good, she'd marry me if I was rich. I told her I was rich. Sorry, she said, she meant she'd marry me if I wasn't black. I fucked her from behind after that. She had a great A young Keats. As a young boy, he was famous for his ungovernable temper and for his prowess as a fighter. OMG, same. A brown, not to be looked at, but to be perceived. Often taken for granted because of their simplicity, browns are some of the oldest pigments and have been in use since prehistory. Ode to the black people at the Whole Foods by the house I grew up in. Where were you guys when I was 14? I really needed to see your glowing skin and beautiful bodies, I mean, so that I could see my own. You play with me, I play with you. I know we loved the bodies inside the World Trade, but did we really love the towers? They were just two big white dicks jutting their windows into the blue, and after this, the ashes, and the fall down, they've been replaced with another. At least this new dick reflects the sky. I saw your mama getting eaten out between the bars of a jail. I meant to tell you, there was a white man in your house last night. He said he was having trouble adjusting to opportunity, so he fucked your mama to disappear. The white man wasn't sorry because he's adjusted now. Waiting for you in your kitchen, he smiled at me and said more to himself than to me. Sometimes you gotta disappear to reappear. I wasn't sure if he meant your mama was invisible. So I walked upstairs and fucked your mama. I wanted to see if she was there at all. She touched my cheek as I was fucking her and said, not you too. Later, I am feeling nothing because I cannot feel. I touch my arms in the bathroom to make sure that they are there, and they are there, but they are shrinking. I call my lover and she is ashamed for me. She says over and over there is never a conclusion for black women. I disagree with her but don't have any legs to stand on because those shrank too. Bae, there is no conclusion for black men, or I tried to disappear but it didn't work. Please answer my emails, or my DMs, or my Snapchats, or my subtweets. I am so sorry, but I am not so sorry. It felt so good to imagine one day I could reappear, even if it meant sticking my dick inside your mama. I'll never listen to the white man again, even if he's in your house. I'm not sorry I bumped into you. I'm a part of it. I'm looking at my phone. What do you want me to do? You are urine that has been distilled too many times. Acid. I mean, I know you so well, I cannot put up with you any longer. You have no water left in you. Spring is right behind us. let us pray for your miracle now. This is my last one. On herding cats. First, let me put my face in the palm of your hand. It'll fit. Thank you. Anyway, I spent some summers there. They cross-pollinate. They're cat herders. They are patient and smell like trees. The women are allowed to leave their husband or take another husband. There must be too many men or too few. Put your lip here. It won't get stuck. Suck. They have gun control and birth control, and when I'm with them, my asthma is under control. All the food is organic. No, nothing contains nuts. I'm serious. They pay you to have children, and they believe in ghosts. Everything is clean because they made jobs where people are paid to clean. Nobody fights without consent. They even heard my complaint about the street lamps making it hard to kiss at night. They dimmed them, and right before let me cut a ribbon. My picture was in the paper. They like to cut ribbons. Please leave your hand there. Yes, it is nice to be held. I made a friend, and he told me they believe that tall men with big eyes are beautiful men. They stand on their tiptoes, and they look them in the eyes, and that is how they make love. Thanks. Thank you.
I like that you did like landscape.
Oh, yeah. I just stick them all in here.
Cool. So next up is a video from Devin Kenny, who's an artist, musician, and curator working across several mediums. Hailing from the south side of Chicago, he relocated to New York to begin his studies at Cooper Union, and has since continued his practice through the Bruce High Quality Foundation University, Skowhegan School of Painting and Sculpture, Soma, Mexico, the Whitney ISP, and performances at various art and music venues in New York City, as well as Chicago, Los Angeles, and internationally. He received his MFA in 2013 from the New Genres Department at UCLA, and is an alum of the Whitney Independent Study Program. And I'm going to have to screen share again. See this one? Does that work? Yeah, okay.
Hey, how's it going? I'm Devin Kinney. I am glad to be able to participate in this event. Mediated-wise, tonight, yeah, this is, I'm gonna do something new. Not sure about it, but thanks to Manning. Yeah, this is a new thing. It's currently untitled. Let's call it Harry Potter. Okay. Today I tried to get a state ID from the New York City DMV. I heard about a secret DMV from a poet friend. It indeed was a well-kept secret, air-conditioned, not crowded, with cushy vegan leather seats. I was directed to the first agent by a beautiful woman standing beside a handsome security guard. She told me to request a supervisor pass. After I told my situation, the first agent told me what I would need. I told him what I didn't have, and that it was destroyed in a move, which was true. I got a new waiting number. I overheard him tell a person that patience is the key to success. He was like an uncle. So far, everyone was Afro-Latino and nice. I talked to the supervisor, who was Asian American, but it felt like we were arguing. I told her I had an ID about 4 years ago, which was true. I wasn't in the system. I was twice surprised. I mentioned to the first agent that I was on food stamps. I can't believe I wasn't in the system. He said that wouldn't matter. I brought a folder that had check stubs and jury duty letters and some transparencies and a copy of my previous state ID, which was lost and my wallet long disappeared. This whole thing is a joke, really. This is an annoyance, but not an impossibility. I went to the Social Security office to get a new card. I bought a Klondike bar beforehand because I was pissed. Oh yeah, and before that, before I started all of this, I saw a homeless black man angrily kick over a homeless black woman's collection bucket. It did an endo as it hurtled in the sun toward a red tour bus, 34th Street. He said she needs to have respect because she never did time, and he's offering a service. She called for the white policeman and said that he sexually harassed her. He miraculously took her word for it and gently told the guy to move along. Her two friends, one pale Latino and one white, helped her collect her dollar and coins. I saw the whole thing. I gave the two women, one black and svelte, one white with curry stain color staining her fingertips, $1, and I beat my breast. Feeling relieved I didn't have to perform masculinity on her aggressor earlier. The guy who helped her, he had a bandana on. I gave nothing. Maybe he would think I was trying to emasculate him. I don't know if the white lady stole a few coins or not. I didn't hear the sound of it plunking back in her neighbor's bucket, or her hand going in that direction. Maybe they have an agreement. There was also a lot going on. Maybe it was the wrong time. I went to the SS office and it was really fast. The black female security guard with bronze curly yaki directed me to the correct elevator through the turnstiles. We exchanged smiles on the way out. She was like a security guard from my high school. Another black female security guard had blonde dreads to the middle of her back and was closer to my age and looked like an Instagram model, so I sidled out quickly. The SS office guy was white and was very heavy and bald and bespectacled, and had a Marvel Comics t-shirt with many superheroes on it. He kind of looked like the comic book guy if the comic book guy had a shaved head and voted like Democrat. I wanted to talk to him about his t-shirt and Marvel, but decided not to. He asked for my application. I took it out and realized I had grabbed one in Spanish. He said I could go back, but thinking I would lose my place in line, I soldiered on, saying I could do this one. He said, okay, no questions. I realized I could only do about 80% of it in full confidence, so I asked again, and he said yes. He processed me and got a letter saying I would receive it in 2 weeks' time as a print-off. I was disappointed to not get a cardstock temporary card that I could take to the DMV. He said they haven't done those in 2 years. I wanted to joke a few weeks back like I was white, like not having a social security card or a birth certificate or ID is at all like the precarity of hundreds of thousands or even millions of Americans I don't see and see. But no, I can get those things, I just can't do shit with them. Or I can, but not as much as some others. Can't believe I wasn't in the system after all I've done for you. Trifling.
If Devin was here, I'd ask him what an endo is. I don't really know, besides weed. Some sort of skateboarding term, maybe. So Sidoni couldn't make it, like I said earlier. She's moving. But we can consider her non-presence as a poetic act. I think that's useful. And our last reader, whose video I showed as the first thing, is Sarah Gail Armstrong, and she's an artist from Los Angeles.
Hello, everyone. I'm take my thing out. Okay, just a second. It's cool to tell someone to evaluate their life if they are black and worship white Jesus. It is not cool to tell someone to reevaluate their life if they worship Beyonce. It's okay. I understand ever since the day your parents became human and the halo above their crown disappeared, you sought to put above the crown of another the same, instead of looking in the mirror to see the halo floating above your head. I don't like weak-minded people. It's something that I've been dealing with since I was a little girl. I bought silver nail polish for the first time. My nails look great. White people's opinions of black lives does not matter. It is in their whiteness they will always be misinformed and left to interpret blackness because they cannot experience it. It's like this. You wouldn't ask somebody for travel tips to China if they haven't been there. They'll never be able to describe how the air smells. When a person of color seeks to exist outside of the boundaries against the reality of whiteness, the whiteness they exist within still exists and affects them. I try to put myself in situations where I'm celebrated for being human and expressing myself. Money does not buy class. Money does not buy taste. Money buys a house and a nice car. It buys vacations to exotic destinations. I don't like getting my way. I don't like not getting my way, especially when I know I can get what I want under terms I'm not comfortable with. The last 3 people I was interested in fucking are in relationships, and still I know they want it and I could get it. You find me in your dreams. I kiss you, saying that what we're doing is a bad thing. It makes waking and seeing you that much more awkward because you're telling me how you feel in ways other than words. Recently, I've decided to only give myself to lovers that see and treat me like a queen. So that means I haven't been fucked in a while. And the cycle of my loneliness repeats itself. I don't really tell my friends anymore because it's gotten old. And like a wife waiting for her dead husband to return from war, it's gotten to the point where I should learn to live a lonely life, but I refuse to reject the way I have been created. Today, I took a shit bigger than most of y'all's dicks. What's the problem? Something you can't hide, something your friends talk about when you're not around. I wonder if my friends talk about how much I love dick. The possibility of good loving drives me wild. And to tell you the truth, I don't give a fuck about what anybody thinks about my libido. Maybe the next lover will be perfect. Maybe I won't have to use hope to motivate my affections. Maybe one day I'll just know, and knowing will be more than enough to love you. Maybe I'm as bad as they say I am. Maybe I still need to be loved, adored, and explored. Okay, this is my last poem. There is a pro and a con to everything. Before I started fucking around, before I knew the sweet love of a man, I was lonely too, but it was different. I didn't know what I was missing out on. Now I do. But it's the same as before, and that I still want the same thing and still feel that it's probably not for people like me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sarah. I'm unmuting everyone's mics in case anyone has any last words. Looks like no. Well, thank you all. An amazing job. Thanks also to Devin and Sidoni, who couldn't be virtually present. That was amazing. I want to thank everyone again. Okay, hold on.